Oh, how lovely to see you again. It's been ever so quiet since you've been gone. And what with Town Hall having popped off home, I've had no one to talk to. Oh, I do miss Town Hall. We had so much in common. Now, you do know, don't you, that for every town hall there are dozens of other paintings from lowly beginnings who could only ever dream of acquiring such greatness, and who, unlike Town Hall and my good self, sadly never made it. Fireside Reed. Painting of an old lady and a young girl down the other end of the gallery there. She's ever such a chatterbox, she is. Well, she was telling me the other day of a little landscape that came out of a very modest studio at the Garden of Ivy Cottage in Hinderwell. Came from the brush of Mr. Frederick William Jackson, I believe. An uncharismatic painting by all accounts. Some ungenerous folk might even say a tad dull. Leastways, nothing to write home about. Anyway, Painter Jackson made a gift of this little painting to his housekeeper, Eliza Trattles. Mrs. Trattles, although not ungrateful, was not inclined to keep the painting, and she could give it to no one, neither as a gift or a swap. Not even the housekeeper's daughter liked the painting. Well, I suppose we can't all be loved and admired. Young Elizabeth, the housekeeper's daughter, thought the little landscape a miserable thing. Grey sky, dark green, a windswept tree. Not to the little girl's liking at all. She also had an idea in her head that the painting, let's call her Little Grey, was a tad dirty. So, damp rag and detergent in hand, she gave her a jolly good rub down. Well, I have to tell you that my little visit to the Portray spa was a much more refined and elegant affair than a swift sponge down with a squirt of fairy liquid. Mind you, Painter Jackson's lot were a hardy bunch. Most of them started life off out of doors. You see, Painter Jackson would paint outside in all weathers. Paintbrush in freezing hand, painting right onto the canvas. No wonder the poor man suffered terribly from frostbite on his ears and on his fingers. Back then, all the other painters were doing it. They called it en plein air, if you'll excuse my French, which basically meant they painted outside come rain, hail or shine. No joke on the Yorkshire coast, where you know as well as I that the weather is more often than not neither fit for man nor beast. I mean, just turn around now and look at cobbles leaving stays on the other end of the gallery there. Look at it. Rough seas, crashing waves. I can't imagine having to depict such a scene. All those bitter winds and the hands and backs straining against the oars. Actually, to be correct, I should say sweeps. Now, Painter Joseph Richard Bagshaw would never have said oars. No, he knew better. And he was kept right by the fishermen he liked to paint. Now, they didn't suffer fools gladly. They kept him right. But I do suspect they harboured a well-disguised respect for Painter Bagshaw, or Baggy as they like to call him. Well, you can't but respect a man who would gather up paintbrush and sketchbook and head off out onto the North Sea to work. And that's just what he did. I tell you, no word of a lie. Now, just past Fireside Reed there, see that strapping fellow? Yes, Lone Watch they call him. Marvellous portrait of Owd John, the skipper of the True Love. Now, he began life as a series of studies in Painter Bagshaw's brine-soaked sketchbooks. And it certainly wasn't all calm waters and plain sailing aboard the True Love. By his own account, Painter Bagshaw found it a bit of a baptism of fire, particularly in regard to the culinary arrangements and the scrubbing of pots and pans. Oh, not at all like the tidy fisherman's cottage where he was lodging in stays, where the fisherman's wife would keep it all spick and span and in apple pie order. Oh, no. Left to their own devices, I think Painter Bagshaw found the men particularly slack. I mean, the frying pan coated in layers of fat of various types and ages, and burnt in addition, the kettle full of a brew of tea, or should I say a concentrated essence of tannin, never let run dry. Well, for myself, I prefer the aroma of a full-bodied dark roast, although a coffee has never passed my lips, me being a portrait and all, and a very fine portrait, I'm sure you would all agree. Now, where, I hear you ask, did all those paintings from those hard-won sketches end up? Some fine house or private collection? Well, I have it on good authority that in a certain well-respected solicitor's office in this town, Seaton Gray, Bell and Bagshaw to be precise, there were once a great number of Bagshaw's paintings leaning up against the wall, amongst the files and documents filed on the floor, whilst 3 local lasses perched on high stools scribing at a 3-sided Dickensian desk. So you see, I'm not the only painting to have spent some time leaning against the wall.